Hello, it is Michael Linton of Smart Classroom Management. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to never argue with students again. This is a really important video. If you are new to this channel, we are a growing channel. We are brand new. We've only been going for maybe 3 weeks or so, maybe a month. But anyway, we're growing and we want to continue to grow, so please subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. That'll help keep us going and keep us growing. This is the most difficult part of the journey of growing a YouTube channel, is in the beginning, to try to get some traction. So I'd really appreciate if you did that for us. Now onto the video. The key thing to remember, or one of the most critical parts to remember as a teacher, is that you can never, ever react when a student gives a provocative statement, which is what they do to begin an argument. They'll say something like, what you said earlier wasn't true, or they'll say, my teacher did it differently last year, or when you held such and such accountable, when you put such and such in timeout, they didn't do anything wrong, or something like that. So it'll be a way to kind of poke you and pull you into an argument. Sometimes students do these things to test you in the beginning of the school year. Sometimes they do it because you've shown a lack of emotional control and they know they can get under your skin by saying these things. And sometimes they do it just because. There are students who do this every year, do it to all adults in their life, including their parents. They know they can get a rise, they can get some attention, and so they do it. It's important that you don't react at all, because what you're doing is you're sending a message in how you respond and what you do to the entire class. And if you react emotionally, and if you battle with this student and go on a kind of protracted battle with this student, you're going to open the floodgates to more students saying these things and more students arguing with you. It also shows weakness in your leadership, and so you'll be challenged more, and the respect for you will drop. So to maintain your respect, even increase your respect in leadership, you have to respond in a certain way, and here's how you do it. The first thing is that most students blurt these things out, and they can get away with it because you feel it emotionally, and you respond right away in kind, because you're like, how dare that kid for saying that, and you react and you try to prove your point. But the problem is, most of the time, that student didn't raise their hand because they blurted out, or they're out of their seat and they say it. And so the first step is to always, that if they broke a rule, in order to make this statement, you must hold them accountable. And so you wouldn't respond verbally at all to what they're saying. You would merely follow your classroom management plan and enforce it. So if they raise their hand if they blurt out without raising their hand and asking permission, or if they get up out of their seat, then you follow through. If it's timeout or warning or whatever the consequence calls for. And again, I've said this week after week, but if you want more information about effective classroom management plan, on the Smart Classroom Management website, you'll find the 2 plans that we have for elementary and then middle high school along the sidebar. So you can find information on that. So that's the first step. If they do raise their hand, or if they do catch you at a moment when the students are allowed to be up, maybe you're doing some kind of group work or group activity, or you're having a free-flowing discussion and that kind of thing happens, or if they do, again, raise their hand and they make a provocative statement, what you're going to do is you're going to pause and then tell the student that you'll think about it. Okay, so you'll say, let me think about it, and if I need to, I'll get back to you. And that's all you'll say. And no, you won't get back with the student. Now, there are cases where you may get back to the student, but that's not till we get to the next one. And so consider means that you'll just say that. I'll consider it, or I'll think about it. And then you'll do absolutely nothing. You'll move on to what you were doing before. You'll realize that the statement is just something, a way to get under your skin. And if so, you'll just say, again, I'll think about it. Or you can even say, no, thank you. And that's it. And then you move on as if nothing happened. And what it does is it leaves the student with nothing to say. And then you can move on. And because you're prepared to do it this way, it won't get under your skin. And also because you know what that student is doing. This is something that students do. And you have to be ready for it and know the motive behind it. And once you do that, then you can pause, recognize what's happening, and then again, just say, let me think about it. If I need to, I'll get back to you. And that's it. You move on, and it's done. And again, you're sending a message not just to that student, but to the whole class. And just doing that one time, especially early in the year, and if not, you need to start doing this. And once you do it a couple times, you'll stop getting these sorts of provocative statements. You'll stop getting students coming and trying to argue with you. The third instance is sometimes they have a point. Every once in a while, they'll have a point, and occasionally they won't mean it as an argument. They won't mean it as being provocative. They may actually say something that they believe to be true. Like they may say, hey, you got it wrong when you sent that student a timeout. They may say it in such a way that does get under your skin, because that certainly can. But in this case, you can say, tell me more. So you're not going to respond or react. You're not going to argue against it or prove your point. Again, if you're unsure, you're going to say, tell me more. If you know, again, what they're doing, you can always say, let me think about it, get back to you. And then ask them, explain a little more. And then after they finish that, if they say, well, I saw someone else push them first, you can, again, you're not going to respond right then and there. You'll say, let me get back to you. Let me think about it and get back to you. And then do it. You can think about it. And if later on you go up to the student and you say, no, this is actually what happened, just want to let you know. But thanks for letting me know. Or thanks for letting me know, I'll take care of it. And that's because that's not the student's business how you take care of your management, your classroom management, and your relationship with other students. So you're not going to discuss it with the student. You could say thank you and I'll take care of it or something like that. And then again, you move on. But in front of the class, you'll never do that. Never, ever, ever again respond or say, oh, I messed up, I'm sorry, or this or that, or no, you're wrong and you didn't see this and blah, 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 blah. It's always, let me get back to you. Always you'll put it off for later. And again, if you need to pull the student aside and say, hey, thanks for letting me know, I've got it taken care of. That kind of thing. And that's it. And so if you continue, you have this in your mind that to enforce if they break a rule, to say it, whatever they say, tell them you'll think about it or consider it, thank them, even if, again, it's provocative and you know they're arguing with you, it doesn't matter. You have to be an adult. You have to be a leader of the classroom, and so a leader of the classroom can't show that sort of emotion, can't react emotionally, can't let those things bother them so much that they have to get back and get revenge on a student who's trying to wrest control the classroom from you or disrupt your rhythm of teaching, what have you. And then the last thing is, again, you can listen if they have a point and then pause, get back to them if you need to or not. And that's it. If you stick with this, you'll have 0 arguments with any student ever again. You'll get challenged in the beginning of the school year once or twice, something like that. And once you prove to be a leader with good emotional control and emotional intelligence, it'll never happen again. Okay, again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you haven't tried this before, try it and let me know again in the comments section. And hope you're having a great week. See you next time.